Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates before we kick off. We appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail, all right. Let's get into it like a proper football rumour that's been buzzing through the streets of Glasgow. Word is that Calvin Ramsay, the young fullback who's been turning heads with his pace and potential, might be heading to Celtic on what looks like a lightning-fast loan move. It's the kind of transfer that happens when clubs want to solve an issue quickly without overthinking the long term. Celtic have been linked with defensive reinforcements for a while, and Ramsay would fit the profile. Talented, hungry, and eager to prove himself. The whispers suggest that the deal could be a short-term fix, but with the kind of upside that makes it feel like a permanent solution. Fans are already imagining him bombing down the wing in that iconic green and white, and the atmosphere is building. Now let's talk about why this makes sense for both parties. Celtic need urgency, they need energy, they need players who can shift the momentum in a match without needing time to settle in. Ramsay brings that electric pace, plus a willingness to take on defenders and deliver crosses that can change a game in an instant. On the other side, Ramsay himself needs minutes. He's young, he's raw, and he's got the kind of talent that can be wasted if he stays on the bench. A loan to Celtic would offer him a stage where expectations are high, but the opportunity to shine is even higher. It's the kind of move that can turn a promising career into a breakout season. Of course, there are always questions when a player arrives on a short-term loan. Will he be ready to adapt to the intensity of the Scottish game? Will the pressure of playing for Celtic, where every match feels like a final, be too much for someone still finding his footing? Those are the concerns that keep the rumour mill spinning. But the feeling around the clubs is that Ramsay is the kind of player who thrives under pressure. He's the sort of talent that needs a platform, and Celtic could be that platform if he arrives and immediately shows the kind of confidence that fans crave. This move could become one of the most talked about loan deals in recent memory. Then there's the tactical angle. Celtic's style is built on quick transitions and wide attacking play. A fullback who can sprint forward and also track back is invaluable. Ramsay's pace and willingness to overlap would give Celtic another dimension, especially in games where they need to stretch the opposition. Imagine him charging down the flank, delivering low crosses, and then sprinting back to cover the space left behind. It's the kind of dynamic that can make a team unpredictable. If Celtic's manager is looking for a player who can bring fresh energy to the defense and the attack, Ramsay fits that brief perfectly. But let's not ignore the bigger picture here. This isn't just about one player arriving on loan, it's about a club signaling ambition. Celtic have always been known for making bold moves, and bringing in a young talent like Ramsay would send a message. We're not afraid to invest in potential, even if it means doing it quickly. It's the kind of statement that can inspire the squad, energize the fan base, and create a buzz that lasts long after the transfer window closes. And for Ramsay, it would be a chance to step into the spotlight, show what he can do, and maybe return to his parent club with a new level of confidence. Finally, let's consider the atmosphere this rumour is creating. The Celtic faithful love a good story, and this one has all the ingredients. A young, exciting defender arriving to bolster the team, a short-term loan that feels like it could become something bigger, and the promise of a new weapon in Celtic's arsenal. The speculation is building, and if the deal goes through, it could become one of the most talked about moves of the season. Whether Ramsay becomes a legend at Celtic or simply uses the opportunity to grow, the rumor alone has already sparked excitement. And in football, that kind of buzz is priceless. Now, let's shift the focus a bit and imagine what Ramsay's arrival would mean for Celtic's squad dynamics. A player like him brings competition, and competition is the fuel that pushes everyone to improve. If Ramsay joins, the existing defenders will have to step up their game, knowing that their spot is not guaranteed. That's the kind of environment that creates better footballers. The training ground suddenly becomes a battlefield, and the manager can pick the player who is performing the best, not the one who has been there the longest. It's a subtle shift, but one that can make a huge difference over a long season. And for a club like Celtic, that edge can be the difference between winning and falling short. The rumors also suggest that Ramsay could bring a different style of defending. He's not just a player who stays back and protects. He's a modern fullback who wants to contribute offensively. That can be risky, of course, because it leaves space behind. But Celtic have the kind of midfield that can cover ground and help protect the defense. When a fullback pushes forward, it's all about balance. If Ramsay learns to time his runs and the team adjusts to cover the spaces he leaves, then the result can be a more dynamic and unpredictable Celtic side. And unpredictability is a weapon in football. When opponents can't predict where the threat will come from, they start to make mistakes. Now let's talk about the impact on Ramsay's career. A move to Celtic could be a turning point. If he performs well, he could become a sought-after talent in Europe. Clubs watch Celtic games closely, especially when they're competing in European competitions. A strong performance on that stage can change a player's trajectory. Ramsay could go from being a promising youngster to a name that teams fear. And even if the loan is short, the experience could shape him as a player. He would learn how to handle pressure, how to perform in big matches, and how to adapt quickly to a new environment. Those are skills that don't come from training alone. They come from real matches, real expectations, and real fans. There's also the emotional side of the story. Celtic fans love a player who gives everything on the pitch. They're not just looking for skill, they want heart. Ramsay has the kind of personality that could win them over if he shows commitment, if he runs his heart out, and if he visibly wants to succeed. The fans will embrace him, and that support can lift a player's performance to another level. Football is as much about belief as it is about technique. When a player feels the backing of the crowd, they play with confidence, and confidence can turn a good player into a great one. But let's keep it grounded. This is still a rumor. Nothing is confirmed, and the transfer market is full of twists. Deals can collapse at the last minute, or clubs can change their minds. But the fact that this rumor is even circulating suggests that Celtic are actively looking for reinforcements and that Ramsay is a player they've seriously considered. That alone is telling. It means the club sees value in him, and it means they believe he can make an immediate impact. If the move happens, it will be one of those stories that fans talk about for years. If it doesn't, the speculation will continue because football always loves a what if. Finally, let's look at what this means for the fans and the atmosphere around the club. A new signing, especially a young and exciting one, can bring fresh energy to the stands. It gives people something to talk about, something to look forward to. And in a season where every point matters, that excitement can translate into performance. The crowd becomes louder, the players feel the support, and the whole club benefits. If Ramsay does arrive, it could spark a new wave of optimism. And in football, optimism is contagious. It spreads from the fans to the players, and it can turn a good season into a great one. So, whether this rumor becomes reality or not, one thing is clear. The Celtic story is heating up, and the transfer market is the stage where the next chapter might unfold. The buzz around Calvin, Ramsay, and Celtic has grown louder. And the thing about rumors is that they never stay quiet for long. Once a name gets linked to a club like Celtic, it spreads through the fan base like wildfire, and suddenly everyone's talking about what could happen if the deal goes through. The interesting part here is that a loan move can often feel like a trial run, not just for the player, but for the club too. Celtic could be testing the waters, seeing if Ramsay's profile fits the team's style, if he can handle the pressure, and if he can become the kind of player that excites the crowd week in, week out. It's a low-risk move in many ways, but with the potential for a high reward. That's why it makes sense as a lightning loan, because it gives both parties a chance to evaluate without committing long-term. What makes this rumor even more intriguing is the timing. Celtic have been known to act quickly when they spot a player who could bring something fresh to the squad. It's not just about filling a position, it's about creating momentum. Ramsay would arrive with the expectation to perform, and that expectation can be a powerful motivator. When a young player feels wanted, when they feel like the club is betting on them, they often respond with their best football. It's a psychological thing as much as a tactical one. And in a club like Celtic, where the fans are passionate and the environment is intense, that kind of support can push a player to new heights. So the rumor isn't just about a transfer, it's about a potential transformation. Now, the critics will always have something to say. They'll question whether Ramsay has the experience to thrive in Scotland, whether he can cope with the physicality, whether he can maintain consistency. And those are valid concerns, but the thing about Celtic is that they have a system that can help a young player develop quickly. The coaching, the expectations, the level of competition, it all creates a steep learning curve. Ramsay would be thrown into the deep end, and that's exactly where some players become great. The question is whether he's ready to swim. If he is, then this move could be a defining moment in his career. If he isn't, then the loan could still serve as a valuable lesson, even if it doesn't end in the way everyone hopes. Another part of the speculation is how Ramsay would fit into the dressing room. Celtic's squad has a certain identity, and new players have to adapt not just to the tactics, but to the culture. That's often overlooked in transfer talk, but it's crucial. A player can be talented, but if they don't fit the club's mentality, it can cause friction. The good news for Ramsay is that he's young and adaptable. He's at the stage of his career where he can absorb new habits, new expectations, and new standards. And Celtic, as a club, has a history of welcoming young talent and helping them grow. If Ramsay arrives with humility and hunger, he could quickly win over the squad and become a key piece in the team's future. Let's also consider the financial angle. A short-term loan like this can be a smart move for Celtic. If they're looking to strengthen without spending a fortune, it's a way to bring in quality without committing to a massive transfer fee. And for the parent club, it's an opportunity to develop a player without risking their own squad balance. Loans can be mutually beneficial when handled properly. Ramsay would get minutes, Celtic would get reinforcement, and the parent club would get a player who returns with more experience. It's a classic win-win scenario, and that's why the rumor has such traction. People can see the logic behind it. even if the details aren't confirmed yet. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. And finally, the most exciting part of all this is the unknown. Rumors like this spark imagination. Fans start picturing Ramsay in the Celtic jersey, running down the flank, and suddenly the season feels full of possibilities. That's the power of transfer speculation. It creates a sense of anticipation, a feeling that something big might be about to happen. Whether the move happens or not, the rumor itself has already added a new layer of excitement to the Celtic story, and in football, excitement is everything. It keeps the fans invested, it motivates the players, and it makes every match feel like it matters. So, as the rumor continues to circulate, one thing is certain. The Celtic faithful will be watching closely, hoping that Calvin Ramsay could be the next big name to join their club. Now, if we imagine Bardi actually stepping onto the pitch in a Celtic jersey, the immediate question becomes, where would he fit? Celtic's midfield is not short on talent, but it's been lacking that special touch that can break open a tight game. Bardi could be the answer, but it depends on the system. He might be used as a central playmaker, or he could be deployed in a slightly advanced role where he can take shots and deliver dangerous passes. The manager's vision will determine how he's used, and that's where the real intrigue lies. Celtic fans will be speculating not just about the signing, but about the tactical shift it implies. Would the team become more possession-based? Would they play with a more structured midfield? Or would Bardi be the creative spark that allows other players to run riot? These are the kind of questions that keep supporters up at night, dreaming about what could be, and it's exactly why this rumor has captured so much attention. Finally, let's talk about the most important thing, the expectation of success. Celtic fans are not shy about wanting trophies, and any signing that hints at improving the team automatically raises the bar. The rumor of Bardi's arrival creates a sense of hope, a belief that the club is still hungry for glory, but hope is a double-edged sword. It can inspire, but it can also lead to disappointment if the results don't follow. That's the reality of football. The story is not finished yet, and the next chapter could be either a triumph or a lesson. Whether Bardi becomes the midfield maestro Celtic have been searching for, or whether he becomes another name in a long list of ambitious signings, only time will tell. For now, the rumor is enough to set the imagination alight. And in a world where football is always hungry for the next big twist, that's a powerful thing. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.